And welcome to ETF Edge, your go-to place for everything exchange-traded funds. I'm your host, Bob Pisani. It's a new year. ETFs keep growing, but what will be hot in 2020? Nick Colas, he's the co-founder of DataTrek Research. Tom Lydon, the CEO of ETF Trends. They join me now. Tom, fire up that crystal ball of yours. I want your thoughts on what happens this year. 3 trends. The long-awaited Bitcoin ETF, cannabis, ESG. Let's start with Bitcoin. Any chances? Any chances? Now, how many years are we doing this?
I know.
Rerun the last 2 years. Any chances for a Bitcoin
it's
ETF?
It's Groundhog Day, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, there are a couple good things that have happened. First of all, the SEC approved the first 40 Act approved ETF. Again, there are a lot of limitations, but just a couple weeks ago. And today...
What does that mean, a 40 Act? I know it's a mutual fund act, but what does that explain to the viewers what that means?
So what it is basically approve that it's filed as publicly traded. So you can, like a regular mutual fund, like the Magellan Fund, there's a sister mutual fund out there where you can invest in Bitcoin. However, it's limited to only $25 million at this point.
So are we going to get a real traditional ETF as we understand it?
I think we will. Today, the CME is offering Bitcoin options for the first time, just granted today, which is fantastic. SEC is concerned about liquidity, so they're going to bypass that through options and futures, and then also safety. The more we can get on publicly account statements like your Schwab account, like your TD account, that's going to help things out.
Handicap it. Chances of a Bitcoin ETF this year?
60% this year.
60. Nick, chances?
10.
10. I'm with Nick. They still haven't figured out. Remember, it's not. You're not dealing with the CFTC here. This is not futures.
All right.
Different people. SEC is terrified. Grandma is going to buy Bitcoin ETF. It's going to collapse. And 5 years later, all the people running the SEC are going to get hauled in front of Congress and say, are you the guys who approved Grandma buying the Bitcoin ETF? It's not the CFTC.
But if it's on registered brokerage statements, so much better because they can see what's going on. All right, we're going to bet a cheeseburger on that.
Very good. I'm in on that. Like crypto, the cannabis industry isn't going away anytime soon. Cannabis ETFs and cannabis stocks, half off where they were a year ago. Maybe they should be half off. More states are legalizing marijuana. The Fed is allowing proper banking, or maybe will we see more assets into cannabis ETFs?
It's not going away. We know that. And as more states, as you say, allow cannabis in their states, great. And also the Fed banking is key and critical.
You've written about this before.
Yep. Bottom line is, if you think there's a chance of an Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders presidency, you got to buy that group today, because that's the scenario.
You think it's a political play, largely?
It's a 100% political play.
Okay. Yeah. ESG, environmental, social, and governance ETFs, the breakout product in 2020, finally attracting some real money. Will sustainable investing eventually become the norm for global investors rather than just a choice? And there you see what is involved in ESG. You've written about this as well, Nick. Is this a real sustainable investment at this point?
It absolutely is. The rip in assets last year was as much about bringing some products to market that were cheaper than the ones before, so that really helped. But I think everything is going to be ESG going forward. It's such a big topic.
If you can buy the S&P 500 in the ESG form, which you can for 7 basis points today, why wouldn't you do that, especially with the idea that you aren't going to give up performance?
I like ESG. It's still a bit murky. The SEC has said that. They put out a notice saying, guys, tell us a little bit more what these categories are and how you define what they are. That's a problem, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was even 4 or 5 years ago.
True.
I'm in favor of it. Ethically, of course, I'm in favor of it, but I'm in favor of it because they're going to start tightening up the criteria, and I think that's a good thing.